What's going on, everyone? It's Jamie here from Shopify Masterclass, and today we'll be going over 3 mistakes to avoid for your Shopify store. These are going to be why your Shopify store doesn't work and the mistakes to avoid here. So you can start off on the right track. Make sure your Shopify store is focusing on the right things so you can generate more sales and therefore more revenue, which is the goal of every Shopify store here. I'm going to go over these 3 mistakes to avoid. Overall, they're quite helpful. These are based on my own experience, as well as things I've commonly seen and heard. So make sure you stay to the end of the video here, as these are quite helpful. As well as things I've commonly seen and heard online. Make sure you stay to the end of the video here. Now, before I dive into it, I just want to thank our sponsor, Profit Calc, the one-click profit calculator app available on the Shopify App Store. It's going to allow you to skip those spreadsheets and get back to growing your business. There's a link in the description to access a 15-day free trial below. I'm going to show a quick video detailing their full feature set.
Are you a Shopify business owner who spends hours doing your accounting? Have messy spreadsheets kept you from growing your business? Discover Profit Calc, the affordable and easy to set up Shopify app that crunches your numbers in just one click. It automatically syncs with all your accounts and expenses to calculate your profit, displaying everything in an easy to read dashboard so you understand your business in real time. Start for free on the Shopify App Store today.
All right, so let's dive into it now. 3 mistakes to avoid. And that first mistake is going to be poor appearance, unprofessional design. So many Shopify stores run into this when they first set it up. They haven't taken the time to really go through their website, go through their color scheme, go through their images. You want to make sure that your images aren't blurry, there are no spelling mistakes on your website, and that your color scheme is simple yet effective here. You don't want too many clashing colors. We take a look at some examples from websites from the 90s. Although these are extreme examples here, we can see there are just too many colors on the page. It's too distracting. And overall, it should be easier now with really good Shopify themes, especially some really good free ones here. So you want to make sure you're sticking to standard website conventions and not going too out of the box here. There's certain standards online now and what customers expect. They expect typically the navigation to be on the top left. On mobile, the add to cart button is going to be on the top right. They're going to get items to their cart through the add to cart page. So you don't want to be reinventing the wheel and you don't adding too many colors there. Another big one is no primary domain. When you first set up your Shopify store, Shopify is going to give you a subdomain of myshopify.com. And you want to make sure you're buying a primary domain here. You can do that through Shopify or an external domain service. That's going to make your website look much more professional here. As if you see a myshopify.com domain, it's going to look like a brand new Shopify store. Overall, a great tip here is just to simply find a Shopify store that you like the appearance, and just simply take inspiration from that in terms of their color scheme and how they have everything laid out. The second one's going to be pop-ups everywhere. So many Shopify store owners, when they first create their Shopify store, there's going to be tons of cool plugins and apps available that they can install, such as different email collection pop-ups, different spinner pop-ups, different chat pop-ups. They might also have different sales ones. So if you see a sales pop in the bottom left saying someone purchased this, they might have a bunch of timers on their website to increase that sense of scarcity. They might have a flashing header bar, all of which sound good in theory, but when you have too many of these all at once, it's going to be extremely distracting for the customer. They're going to get overwhelmed with all these things and they're not even able to see the product on the website. And most likely at that point, they're just going to bounce. And that's going to be a waste of money you spent on ads to bring that customer to your website. Additionally, it's going to slow down your website, as it's going to be a lot of extra JavaScript that the customer is going to have to load. Many customers are on mobile as well, so they might be using data, which can be a little bit slower. And so if the website's not even loading quickly, the customer's probably going to bounce in the first place. And this has been shown through tons of studies as well. So make sure you're spending time to think about which pop-ups you're adding to your website, which extra plugins you're adding. And you want to make sure that you're thinking carefully so you're not overwhelming the customer and causing them to leave your Shopify store. The third mistake here is going to be focusing on the little things. It's so easy when you first start out to go say, hey, I need to be on every social media platform. I need to have ads on every platform so I can create a wide net here in which to capture customers. We focused all around on different ad platforms, but rather you should be focusing on 1 to 2 social media platforms, 1 to 2 ad platforms, and really hammering that down. Most businesses don't even have one successful channel to bring in new customers. So if you can nail down one, you can bring in so many customers, as you can bring in so many sales through just one platform. You don't need to be on every single one here, whether that's Facebook ads, Google Shopping, Pinterest ads. Decide which one is the most relevant for the products you're selling, where your customers are hanging out online, and focus on that one there. This also leads itself to other things such as redesigning your websites too many times. I know personally I spent hours and hours designing very minute details on my Shopify store, redesigning things. At one point I decided to split test the add to cart button color, as I thought that would make a difference, and I was getting maybe 10 to 20 visitors per day. So nothing statistically significant to even determine what's successful. So overall, that was a complete waste of time. I should have been focused on better product images, better product descriptions, and focusing on the ad platforms I was using instead. Something else is focusing on metrics that don't matter. When you're running ads on any platform, you're going to see a ton of different metrics. There's CPM, CPCs, average CPCs. You also get percentage video watch, different likes and engagements on your post, and it can be tempted to focus on metrics that don't matter. For e-commerce businesses, that one key metric is going to be your return on ad spend. You want to make sure you're running ads profitably. You could have a really cheap CPC or a really cheap CPM, or your ad might be getting tons of likes on it and comments, but if you're not generating sales through those ads, it's not worth running. And it can be easy to get hung up on metrics that don't matter. So you want to make sure you're defining your key metric. It's typically going to be ROAS, and you're going to hammer that home. You might have a very expensive CPC, but an excellent ROAS, and that's what's going to matter most. Let's conclude the video here, why my Shopify store doesn't work, and 3 mistakes to avoid. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would love it if you hit that like and subscribe button below. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Lastly, I want to mention our sponsor, Profit Calc again, the one-click profit calculator app available on the Shopify App Store. And there's a link in the description below to access that 15-day free trial there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.